One last quick question, and then I understand you have a pressing issue that you need to attend to. And you know who you are as I ask this question, because I'm asking the closest thing I'm ever going to speak to an expert on, not this field, but something that's very near and dear to my heart. Is it acceptable to support Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, and Barcelona simultaneously?
See, I want to.
Yes! You know who you are!
First of all, like, I have to kind of get my head around how that works. Like, I think it's becoming increasingly common for people to have teams in different countries.
We're talking 10 years ago I was given this statement. 10 years ago, roughly 10 years I was given that statement.
I'll tell you what. I'm not really into telling people what's not allowed. I would just like to understand the mechanics of how this works across the course of a single season, especially when you've got two teams in there that are going to play each other multiple times. That's kind of, hey, that as a concept needs to turn into a TIFO explainer video, I think.
Oh my days, that's exactly the answer I was hoping that you would give, because
blown my mind, Lewin.
So it's because here's the thing. I know by even asking that question, I'm going against a lot of the principles which I think we both agree on, which is, look, like what you like, just don't be a dickhead about it. And don't enforce what you... Yeah, exactly. Don't Look, I like this, therefore you must like this. I hate this, therefore you must like... No. How's about this? Does my fandom affect you in any way? Then let me have my fandom and let me enjoy something the way I want to enjoy it. And if you don't like something, I'm not going to force you to do it unless, you know, it's a partner situation and they make you go to every Twilight movie in the cinema again on DVD. That's a different story for a psychologist.
Wow.
I was a very giving person in my youth. I shan't be making that mistake again. Anyway, point being is that, I think it's funny because even though I grew up in an age, because you mentioned this on a podcast at one point, where, you know, United will win in everything, and as an Arsenal fan, it was so frustrating just watching them win year after year, to the point now where they are, and 9-year-old me would be laughing his ass off, but 32-year-old me is just almost sad that we have one less team that competes on a decent level in comparison to the very top teams, and I would just want to see a more entertaining product that everyone enjoys, rather than seeing everyone, which is what I saw after the first United game, go, well, I suppose we might as well nuke the stadium now for all that performance was worth. I think we should scrap the club and start again, frankly. And it's like, guys, there'll be another game next week.
I think it's difficult though, because also, like, within fan bases, you have people of different generations, or who perhaps have been fans for, you know, some people come to football later in life, you know, so it's really tempting, and believe me, I've done it. I'm as guilty of this as anybody. You know, you judge people for their entitlement, like, oh, you know, you're you know, try being a fan of Club X for 10 years or 20 years or 30 years. We've all done that, right?
We have all done that, yep.
But then you got to remember that sort of different people have different reference points, and different people also, and this is really important, and I've only really come to understand this recently, but different people need different things from football. So you arrive at match day, and, you know, your life might be going brilliantly. You know, you might be about to get married, or about to go on holiday, or you've just got a pay rise or a new job, all this kind of stuff. And so, like, you can deal with that really crap 2-1 home defeat to Wigan, right? It's okay. Like, there'll be another game tomorrow, another game next week, and you can forget about it. However, sometimes you come across football, and you come to a football match or a point in the season, and you need football to be something for you. You need it as a bit of a crutch, and, like, there's all different parts of my life, and that's been the case. I remember I went through this years and years ago, but I remember the first time, the season when Tottenham qualified for the Champions League with Harry Redknapp. I'd been through a really bad breakup halfway through that year, and we broke up, and we were living together, and so a lot of the furniture went with her when she left. Right. So these things happen, and it's life. You get on with it. But I remember thinking, I need this. Like, you've always let me down before, and you've always failed, but I need you to actually do this time, because, and if you don't, I don't think I'll ever forgive you for it. And that is not a rational way to approach football. And that is the way, and had they not won that game at the Etihad, I might have had a massive tantrum. And so I'm always reticent to judge people because you just don't know what they need from the sport. It's pathetic, but we've all done it, right? You end up thinking, I just need this good thing and I'll never ask for another thing. Okay, I need this because I've earned it, because everything else is in flames. And that's a long time ago now, but oh my goodness me, that's 12, 13 years. But it's you always got to remember that. And I think, for instance, okay, so Man United had a really crap result over the weekend and they were bad and they probably deserve to be booed off, but and I accept entirely that this is not the reason why a lot of people throw their toys out the pram. I understand that, but there are people that just need their team to be better than they currently are sometimes, and they need a kind of a figurative hug from their football team, and when they don't get it, that's really rubbish. So it's something to remember, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, being an Arsenal fan, it's less of a hug, more of a happy slap that we get more often than not, especially considering the you mentioned the All or Nothing documentary. I'm not looking forward to watching it now that I've got to come down from the high of Mourinho in the middle of a field saying we're fucked. Like, I can't believe they caught that on camera, frankly. But that must have been pleasurable for you to sit through as a Tottenham fan. But
it bored me. Like I feel like some of those.
Yeah, bit the same.
You follow the team too closely for those to be that interesting. JJ and I were talking about this the other day, and actually we were talking about the podcast with everybody, and JJ loves it, and I think primarily because rightly loves the way that it's shot and how glossy everything is and the different camera angles, and that is really cool the way it's edited. I just think that I don't care about anything other than I want to watch the episode where it all goes wrong.
Well,
I wait for that episode. But with tomorrow? I think that's tomorrow that comes out.
Well, I wouldn't know. I will have to watch it eventually, but it's one of those things where I want to just, I can't deal with it. By the way, I never bought Mourinho walking around with his hands in his pockets looking down at the floor while Danny Rose is walking out of his office, because I just guarantee you, in real life, that meeting does not end with him going, hey, listen, whatever you think's best, man, my office door is always open, I'm just think of me as Uncle Jose, you know what I mean?
I think it was healthy to be cynical about that. Yeah.
I'm just saying.